So one of the most challenging parts, really what this comes down to, ultimately, your success in the acquisition journey comes down to one thing: your persistence and your ability to handle rejection, and really canvassing and doing cold calls. If you can do 2,000 cold calls, you'll be a millionaire. If you can do 250 cold calls a day, I was doing 450, don't expect you to do the same thing. If you did, say, 250 cold calls a day, even if, let's say you do 50 cold calls a week, that's 200 a month, that's 2,500 in a year. So, and you're not going to work weekends. Even though you say you're going to work weekends, you're not going to work weekends. So that's 2,000 in a year. If you can muster up 50 cold calls a week, generate a list, and personally contact the sellers and every single bank in the country, including the international banks, and ask the magic questions: are they funding in the industry? Do they do cash flow finance? What are their lending parameters? How do they value businesses? Do they accept vendor finance as the equity portion of the loan? Do they have non-recourse lending? What's their lending limit? What's their own personal lending limit? If you ask that to the bankers and you put your board together, you've cold called and cold approached your board, accounting firms, legal firms, banks, sellers. If you can do that a couple of thousand times, and you're talking to you're not leaving voicemails, you're getting through to the VIP, you're getting through the gatekeepers to the very important top person. If you can do that, then you'll make it. But you've got to be persistent. And one of the things that holds us back the most is we worry what people think about us. We worry what people whisper about us. Even though you're going to be contacting complete strangers, that's still going to be going through your mind. And you're going to use it as an excuse to stop. You're going to worry people judge you. You're going to get hung up on, told to go away. And that rejection is why most of the people won't do this. Not to mention, it's the risk of taking out a loan, signing on that dotted line. It takes courage to do that. So if you don't think that you're up for that, and your hungriness for success doesn't outweigh the fear of being judged, taking a risk, then this isn't for you. So if you can put together a list of potential vendors, a couple of thousand vendors, and if you don't have equity, you're going to be going for 100% vendor finance in the first few instances. If you've got equity, or if you've got an existing business to use as your first, you make that your first acquisition of the roll-up. Then, if you're prepared to do that, it's all possible. But you have to want this as bad as you want to breathe. You've got to be so obsessed for super success, and that has to outweigh all the other costs it requires for you to get there. Then you're in with a shot. But you can never give up. I was in 3 different industries before I transitioned over to my final industry now. But you have to want it more like oxygen in your lungs, and it has to take number one priority. If you've got a wife or a partner, or you've got kids, and you don't call the shots, and they don't understand what you're doing, the chances of what you are doing is very low. The chances of you being successful is very low. And it's a lot easier to do when you're flexible, single, nimble. You don't have to be young, but you have to be hungry. And your goals need to take precedence over anything else, competing priorities in your life. Should you quit your job? You should have an income coming in. What if you're at university? Should you drop out? Yes. What if you've got a year to go in your degree? Finish it. What if you've just started your degree? Drop out. And if I had my time again, I would have never become a dentist. I would have never have gone to dental school. I would have started acquiring businesses when I was 16. If you'd like to find out more information or learn more, follow me.